Mr. Larson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thought you were going to say, let's go Notre Dame. You missed your opportunity there, but...
I left that out. Yes, go Irish.
Yeah, right. But thank you, Mr. Chairman, for this hearing. And I want to associate myself with the remarks of Mr. Neal and my colleagues. The witnesses have been outstanding. And when you listen to your testimony, I think you can see that there's a desire here on both sides of the aisle to help. But that help all comes down to fairness at the end of the day. And the quandary that Mr. Neal presented, I think, is one that this committee needs to sort through and have the conversation on. And the other thing that he talked about is that you just can't ignore the obvious in what's in front of you. And from my perspective as a ranking member on the Social Security Committee, we can't ignore the obvious. You think any of the witnesses, do you know the last time that we extended Social Security benefits in the United States? Anyone want to venture a guess? It's not a fair question to you. It was 1971. Richard Nixon was President of the United States. Could any of your businesses or households survive if the last time the responsibility, which is that of the United States Congress and this committee, to adjust Social Security, including the unfair policies of taxing your Social Security when you retire? I think the American people rightly no longer, we cannot ignore these issues. 70 million Americans rely on Social Security. And with 10,000 baby boomers a day becoming eligible for Social Security, that's additional 3.65 Americans becoming eligible every year. And we haven't extended benefits in over 50 years. That's an outrage. And when you look at its impact on people, more than 5 million Americans getting below poverty level checks, for about 35 million Americans in total, the only benefit they have is their Social Security that they paid into. This is an earned benefit, and the responsibility is that of the United States Congresses. I'm looking forward to working with Mr. Estes, and I believe my colleagues on the other side of the aisle care as deeply about this issue as we do. But we can't ignore it. Everybody cares about the national debt. Everybody knows that we're going to have to raise the debt ceiling, and we know that we have work in front of us. And yet when we talk about the fairness, where you see the disagreement is when you see all the money going in one direction and not even using capitalism's greatest tool for equity, Social Security. Make sure that that's the great leveler, including tax breaks for people on Social Security, including what parents get and what children get, what surviving spouses get. This is why these are important programs in a democracy, and why this committee, as the chairman started out today, talking about our importance and significance. No greater number than 70 million Americans that need a program addressed that hasn't been touched by Congress to enhance it in over now going on 54 years. I yield back.